Thank you. 20, take 2.
Action.
My name's David Spencer. I'm the brand's marketing manager for Fuller's. I look after the marketing for all of our beer brands, including our new advertising campaign for our best-selling beer, London Pride.
Fuller's was our very first client, and we feel incredibly privileged and honoured that 15 years on, we're still together. And if I look back over those years, I think it's fair to say we've watched and we've helped each other grow. Our very first campaign for London Pride consisted of maybe a dozen poster executions which ran within the M25 region. And today it's a multimedia campaign.
About a year ago, it's taken us that long to get here, brief came into the agency, new London Pride TV campaign and all the other bits that go with it, and for the first time they were aiming at younger drinkers.
Hello, my name's John Hardwick. I'm the director of these commercials for London Pride beer.
What we're trying to achieve with this new advertising campaign is bring London Pride to the attention of a wider audience, particularly younger drinkers who perhaps haven't considered the brand before.
What we were trying to do was to open out the visual side of the idea a little bit, to find the right pubs, to make them look gorgeous, to make them look cinematic, to make them look different from one another. So one's a more traditional pub and one's a bit more modern, like where we are today.
They wanted a celebrity, didn't they? Yeah, a name that could sort of bridge that gap, I guess. Yeah, so finding someone that can do both, you could probably count those well-known celebrities on one hand, and we just sat there and we said, look, it's bloody good beer. And with that expression, we just sort of thought of James May.
We think James's popularity is a great vehicle for getting how good a beer London Pride is across to a whole new generation of drinkers.
Well, I have been asked to do other adverts, well, daily, obviously, but I've always said that I'd only do it if it was something I genuinely believed in, or genuinely believed, you know, needed to be promoted for the common good. And I can't do cars or motorcycles, so that left tools or beer. And in the end, it was beer.
That's right, yeah. Nothing more. Get that in the wine shop. To overlap that.
And it's my local beer, and it's a beer I actually drink. I've been drinking it, I worked out, for about 23 years, which is as long as I've lived in West London. The brewery is just down the road from my house. I've often said in the past how much I like Fuller's beer, so I didn't feel at all grubby about doing it. It seems perfectly natural.
We've had 3 or 4 meetings where,
We say meetings in the loose.
yeah, in the pub, sitting with a pint with James, but just discussing, this is a rough idea for a script. I mean, we'd written them, and it was sort of just getting James's input and then just tweaking stuff so that he was happy. I mean, we tried to get into his mindset anyway, and then by meeting him, he just added little phrases that he used and stuff, and they just like became him. Oh cock. Oh cock, yeah.
Coming in there. Thank you. Okay, stand by.
Second tap.
And set. And action.
This is a great example of British craftsmanship.
And I'm about to make it disappear.
Got there. Good.
Got it.
Well done. Lovely.
The reason we asked James to be involved is that above anyone else we could think of, he is the perfect spokesman for London Pride. And there are probably 3 main reasons why this is the case. 1, he is a London Pride drinker. It's his favourite pint and his local is a Fuller's pub. 2, he's very well known, very popular, and amongst not just a small section of people, but a very broad range of people, from new drinkers right through to very experienced beer drinkers. 3, he's known as someone who is passionately interested in beer and in really good quality, crafted British products.
I actually do believe that a properly made, a properly crafted beer, as they would say, of which London Pride is a very fine example, obviously, they are important to the world. I think good beer is part of the social glue of Britain and indeed the rest of the world. You couldn't take it away and expect life to be the same. It would change society radically.
Okay, back on a tiny
Rotate, roll sound.
Please.
Some miming in the background, please. Nice and quiet everywhere. Camera speed.
and set.
And action.
This beer is brewed in London
With pride.
hence the name.
Cut that.
Good, cut it.
Yeah.
And I also think it's quite important that we sort of introduce the idea of beer to a younger generation, now that I'm middle-aged, who I think are sort of getting a bit bored with bland drinks that are simply very cold and very fizzy, but don't really have any character, don't have any depth of flavour, don't really have any sort of interest or poetry or intrigue in them. And I sense that people are starting to realise that. I know a lot of people in their 20s who are saying now, oh yeah, I like a pint of ale, whereas 10 or 20 years ago they would have just drunk a chilled lager and that would be the end of it. So, you know, I don't want to see beer turned into some sort of fuddy-duddy, it's part of oldie England along with roast beef and fish and chips and cricket. It's not about that, it's about something that is actually important, that people, I believe, will love if they give it a chance.
And action.
Cut bang.
Cut it.
Okay. Good.
Cut it.
Good. Great. Yeah.
Rather than shooting one long ad, what we're shooting over the next couple of days is about 8 or even 10 short, punchy ads. These days, rather than just put an ad out on television, we're going to be doing lots of different things with it.
As we've gone on, we've sort of committed to an aesthetic which has fewer shots in it.
Leave it.
And one of the reasons for that is that the shots look very good on the camera and James holds the shot really well. So we're being quite brave, I think.
So yes, there will be a TV campaign that millions of people will see in London and the South East. But in addition to that, we intend to use a lot of these pieces online. The idea is that these ads will be disseminated out gradually, probably over the next couple of years, and we can put out a few at a time, and we can put them out virally or on our Facebook page or on our website or on other people's websites, and keep the campaign going, keep it alive, and keep London Pride current in that way.
Well, I don't like to presume that I'm popular or that people listen to what I say or anything like that, but just in case they do, I hope my reputation as a discerning drinker, a man who drinks in moderation to contentment rather than capacity, with charm and wit, will help promote the cause of beer. If I wanted to be remembered for something, I'd be very happy if it was, there was that bloke who told us how great beer was.
Anyone who disagrees with me is a buffoon.